guys. This is episode 2 of our podcast called We're Not Even That Funny. I am Ari along with my co-host Paul. And if you missed our first episode from last week, no worries. I am setting up my own YouTube page and Paul has his own. Paul, shout out to your YouTube page, what it is, so people can go watch episode 1.
Of course, it's called Paul Got Drip. So I already posted the first one and expect every week to be posted on Tuesday on my YouTube page. So again, that's going to be Pacific Standard Time. So tune in, guys. Make sure you don't forget to watch.
Awesome. And for this week's episode, we decided to focus on Mental Health Awareness Month. We know that, May is dedicated and observed to mental health. We have some things to say, and we do care about you guys and your health, well-being and your wellness. And we just want to highlight its importance and to raise awareness of mental health and wellness. And I will quickly just talk about why we think that it's important to address it. We think that it's a very important month regarding mental health because we want to educate the public about mental health conditions, their symptoms, treatment options, really better understand and accept mental illness, reduce stigma, advocate for resources if anyone needs it, and just celebrate recovery. And we think that anybody who is going through anything, if anything we say helps you along for our episode, we think that brings a lot of value, and we really appreciate that. So I'm gonna let Paul start and say if he has any thoughts he wants to get off his chest, anything that you want to say about Mental Health Awareness Month, just to start off the conversation.
I definitely do. Mental health is like so important. A lot of us that are stuck in the 9 to 5, Monday through Friday work schedule. The goal is eventually, of course, to get out of that. Unless if you generally like what you're doing for your job, then kudos to you. But I know that the typical 9 to 5 isn't always going to be for everyone, but it's a starting point. But don't forget, guys, like the most important thing is if you're just not feeling it, whether you're in a toxic work environment, your coworkers are not getting along with you, you just feel like this job isn't going anywhere. Mental health is so, so, so important. As Ariana said, like luckily, we're still like in the middle of May, going towards the end of May. So we thought perfect time to talk about mental health awareness because it's so important as this month is specifically like designed to talk about and raise awareness regarding stigma around mental health. So, first thing is self care. Self care. Tell yourself, like, oh, is this beginning to impact your mental health in regards to are you able to do the job correctly? Are you able to perform and go above and beyond? Sometimes we all like to take a self off mental health day. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but in quotes, that's like you just take a day off for a personal mental health day. I know when I like to do that, I like to go either watch a movie or like go for a walk, clear my head. I don't know how you guys do it, but I generally enjoy going for a walk, listening to music, something that you like to do. And what about you, Ariana? What is like something that you would like to do? Say like you got a full-time job, right? Monday through Friday, the typical 9 to 5. And if you would have to do something in regards to your mental health, what would it be?
I literally did this all the time in college. I literally would just leave my apartment and go on a super long walk and listen to music. And honestly, it helped me out so much. I think that there were moments in college when I had mental breakdowns because, I didn't have a job. But like I was taking 4 to 5 classes, I'm working for the newspaper, I'm trying to have a social life. It's just like the multitasking, I think, was a lot for me because I never experienced that before college. I never multitasked. I feel like college expects me, like the environment, it expects you to be so well-rounded and do 20 different things. And then it's like, oh, then you have to get a job or then you have to network, you have to get a resume, like you have to build your career. And it's like on top of that, I literally felt mentally just, I was like draining. And I think the best thing for me was, okay, set everything aside for like literally today. Literally, I would just go outside, like plug in my music and just go on a 3 hour walk randomly. Like it's not like I like kind of aimlessly, but I think what I needed to do was not stare at a screen or like do any sort of work for just a few hours of the day. I needed to go and just see nature, people, the environment. And I don't mean like I was on my phone the whole time. I mean like I would put my phone in my pocket and I would just really observe the environment. And for me, I think that really helps because I think when you take your mind off of your like life in general, so at times when you need to, it really helps you. And it's kind of like a reset. Then you can come back to your work with a refreshed mind and ready to like bounce. I know also something else I would do is journal. Yeah, I know people are like journal. Yeah, actually writing down your thought like if I'm feeling a certain feeling, like I'm feeling sad or upset. I really think that like I'm a journalist, so I think that naturally writing is something I love. So I would just write down everything I'm feeling that day. And I think everything I want to say, everything that's going on in my life, I just write it down. And it's a good outlet. It helps you express yourself and get your thoughts out. Um, and I think it's easy for us sometimes to distance ourselves from people, like not talk to friends or family. I really try to do that though. I try to socialize with people, my friends. Like, if I'm going through something, I would tell my friends, like, hey, I'm experiencing this. I just felt like I didn't want to be alone. I think if I'm really suffering or I'm going through something mentally, it's important that, people around me know so that I don't feel lonely. And, you know, the fact is you never feel lonely because everyone goes through crap. And you're not the only person, and that feels nice, is that other people can go through awful experiences as you, and but the fact is that you're not alone makes it important. And there's unfortunately there is stigma still with mental health. So that's something that I hope people understand. Don't feel shame for wanting to get help. And I think that's an important message that you definitely think is important to address all the time, you know?
Yeah, it honestly it takes a lot to just like realize that you even need help, but there's like helplines, resources. I'd suggest like talking to someone close to you, someone you know that you can trust, a friend, a family member. It doesn't necessarily have to be a family member too. It could just be anyone that you trust and generally that you can talk to, and they have an open mind and they're willing to listen to you. I think that's so important because honestly, throughout the years, mental health for me too. It's been I've had my highs and I've had my lows myself. And what I found helped me the most is, besides everything that I talked about so far, has been just listening to like some good music, honestly. And a lot of people say sometimes listening to sad music, sometimes listening to inspirational music kind of like helps you kind of like take out all your emotions on that song. And then afterwards, you feel completely fine. It's crazy how music can have an impact, how much it can have an impact on our lives. So yeah, it's crazy, but I encourage everyone to like if you really think like this is impacting you in some sort of way, like go seek help. And again, it's very brave of you to actually admit that you need help. I I think it's very important though to make sure you prioritize your mental health over everything else. Because if you don't have mental health, then you can't function on your day to day activities, and it's harder for you. And I knew a few select people right now in their lives that they're struggling with this, and so when I heard about like how I was reminded that, oh, this May is it's so important how we talk about this topic because it impacts so many people in this world and we don't know it. Everyone's going through their own thing, and it's important to know. It's important for them to know that they always have people to talk to. So,
Yeah.
like closing this off, like, do you have any adding statements to add, Ariana? Do you have any thoughts, opinions?
Yeah. I think one thing I really want to talk, just really quick. I think we should really, in this day and age, I do think we're doing it less, but I feel like it's still happening where we use stigmatizing language so for example, very casually sometimes, like you'll hear the word, "Oh, she's crazy" or "she's psycho." And it's like you say it like you maybe you don't have the intentions of hurting that person, but the thing is like you don't know what that person goes through. Like there are terms like insane or loony or disabled or cripple that those are stigmatizing language. Those are just words or phrases that perpetuate prejudice and negative stereotypes towards other people. And I just want to say this because I really think that what we say to other people really matter. And, it can cause people to feel ashamed of their experience, of their condition, and it leads to isolation. And I think that in our society, if we rather than use those types of terms, we use neutral, respectful language that avoids those terms. Maybe focus on an individual. So instead of saying someone's an addict, I learned you should say people with substance use disorder. That would be a proper term. And I just think terminology really makes a difference. And I just want to say, let's not use harmful language. Let's really promote positive language. And, mental health, it's 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 normal. There's nothing wrong with you, and you don't feel shame or judgment. We all go through things in life, but it doesn't make you less of a person or anything if you are experiencing you know, just awful things in your life and you're just not mentally doing great one day, and that's okay because we all go through it. So I just want to talk that language is important, guys, and just be aware of what you say to people because what you say really does matter.
Yeah, and I think one last thing I want to mention real quick is the problem is that like we have to wire our brains to think a certain way because there's all
Yeah.
these stereotypes that we already have in our mind. Like it depends on like how you grew up as a person, like what kind of family you were born into, to what like comes to the thought of your mind. So we also got to work on changing our mindset because when we think of an old when we think of an elderly person, just like I said, I was about to say old person. You see how I had to like kind of change my mindset a little bit. Um,
Hmm.
how we have when we think of an elderly person, we think, oh, all these bunch of stereotypes. Oh, they can't do anything for themselves. They can't do this. They can't do that. And we just need to overall be a little bit more aware of like what a person can or can't do. Just because they're at a certain age doesn't mean they can't do most of the stuff that we can do. In fact, I've seen a 90-year-old do like jogs and and running like half across the lap than like a 15-year-old can do, and it's crazy because so I always say and tell people do not underestimate or do not even like think that a person is defined to their age because they can more than likely surprise you. But
Hmm.
anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that topic that we decided to come up with today for the month of May, Mental Health Awareness Month. And we'd also like to contribute by saying, you, for anyone out there that's looking for help and want someone to talk to, you always have help available. There's resources, there's a helpline on the internet, and you can always talk to someone, your loved one, friends, whoever you trust. So, Ariana, any last thoughts to add before we?
Yeah, I just want to say, prioritize yourself, take care of yourself. If you really need to take a long extended break from your work, that's okay. Tell your boss. Don't be afraid. I think I'm having to learn to stand up for my mental health and say to people no when I really need to say no and no, I can't handle this. No, I really need to focus on myself. Don't be afraid to. It's okay. Money comes later, but your well-being is always first. And remember, you guys, don't feel shame. I know that stigma is a real thing. It happens, and especially the culture I come from, mental health is stigmatized. Don't feel shame, don't feel judgment. It's okay to express your vulnerability, to express what you're feeling and your emotions. That's all normal. So, Yeah, we love you guys and we care about you guys, and just take care of yourself.
All right, guys. With that being said, don't forget again to take a look and this channel. This video is going to be uploaded to my channel, Paul Got Drip, and of course, Ariana is in the midst of kind of like working on her
Yeah,
own channel, so
yeah.
you'll see most of the videos up on my channel first.
Hmm.
And again, please give us a subscribe, like, comment below, and any other topics you guys actually want us to talk about in the future, comment that below. With that being said,
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoy your day and have a good rest of your weekend.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.